Alright guys, so we are continuing on with the story for 3.3, and we are at Foundation at 1311 near the Forgotten Night, and we're going to be talking to Emmerich. The quest is called Unity of Peace. We get some cool stuff here, so alright, let's do it. My own friendship with Justinian began some 10 years past, shortly after we joined the Temple Knights. I learned his name soon enough, but Justinian barely recognized my existence. I was less a fellow recruit and more a shadow which occasionally darkened his path. And so I might have remained, had fate not seen fit to intervene. While out on patrol, our company was set upon by a dragon, and we were the only two to survive. The experience forged a bond between us, such as life-threatening situations are wont to do. Despite our friendship, he remained an intense and solidarity youth, wholly obsessed with claiming vengeance against Nidhogg. Revenge was ever at the forefront of his mind. Revenge for the death of his parents and revenge for his brother. I would venture that in Alphanod he sees something of his lost sibling, and in the ungentle childlings of Justinian, Alphanod has found the elder brother he never had. Truth be told, Justinian's tactless observations have saved me from disaster more than once, and I can well understand Alphanod's affection for him. He is a friend whom I would gladly... Lord Commander, your presence is required in the infirmary. Izzy, tell him I'm on my way. Something happened in the infirmary. Probably with Justinian. Okay, talk to Emmerich again. Quickly, Igneel, you must go to him. Upon a presence. Cool. So there's a lot of cutscenes here. So.
Justinian!
Cease your mewling, boy. It grates my ears.
Forgive me. When I saw you awaken, I could not... It was such a relief. We feared you might never wake up.
Now, Justinian. If Master Alphino thought any less of you, you would still be Nidhogg's plaything. Or dead. Aye, 'twas but a jest. I thank you, Alphino. And you too, Warrior of Light. Quite how you managed to persuade Hraesvelgr to aid in his brew brother's downfall I cannot imagine, but full glad am I that you did. Yet again, you have achieved the impossible. I, for my part, owe you an apology. When last we met, I did willingly loose an arrow at your heart. Can you forgive me? There is naught to forgive, Emmerich. You but acted in defense of Ishgard as is your duty. Were you any less single-minded about it, I would not follow you into battle, nor trust you at my back. Besides, I had come to the selfsame conclusion that I would have to perish for Nidhogg to be stopped. So let us dispense with the hand-wringing. I have heard enough mewling for one day.
Oh!
The tendrils of Nidhogg's foul presence bound up every fiber of my being, usurping my senses, but I yet retained some trace of awareness. The worm's mind was as a vast and tumultuous sea. Endlessly its black waters churned, his grief and despair at Ratatoska's murder never calming, never receding. Driven by this surging current came wave upon wave of unrelenting rancor. It was the very image of my own heart. There I saw the dark reflection of the hatred I felt after Nidhogg slew my family, when no path remained save vengeance against dragonkind. Neither one of us had a choice. But I was blessed with something Nidhogg was not. Comrades and teachers to console and admonish me. Had I not had them to gainsay my obsession, it would surely have consumed me as Nidhogg's did him, and we would have been in all respects alike. Though his shade is banished, his spirit scattered upon the sea of clouds, I feel no joy at his passing. Where once I craved vengeance, I now crave rest. Lord Commander, my hunt is at an end. I would lay down the mantle of Azure Dragoon.
My friend.
He has tired himself with too many words. I doubt not that he will make a full recovery, but he must be allowed some few days of quiet.
I too must see my path to its end. Sleep well, my friend.
Following the battle with Nidhogg on the Steps of Faith, Sir Emeric called an assembly that he might make his final proclamation as acting head of state. 'Twas there, with one decree, that the 1,000-year rule of the archbishops was ended, paving the way for a new republic. The governance of Ishgard would now be placed in the hands of high and lowborn alike, their ranks represented by the newly founded House of Lords and House of Commons. Church was separated from state. The foundation for change had been carefully laid, and the reforms proposed by Ishgard's new government passed into law without incident. His duty done, Emeric de Burrell gladly stepped down from the Archbishop's dais, only to be raised unto the highest seat in the House of Lords. Though he strove at first to refuse this honor, The unexpectedly strident voice of the Count de Durandare left him little choice but to accept. And so it was that the winds of gentle revolution came to stir. Prominent among the many honoured guests at Sir Emeric's investiture were the ambassadors of Dragonkind, a fitting symbol of Ishgard's newfound peace. The people looked on in awe as he soared through the heavens on Dragonback. And by their cheers did they hail him an azure dragoon for a new age. Thus were the notes of the dragon song rewritten, the din of war giving way to a rising litany of peace and hope.
Start to Emmerich. I was gazing out at the sea of clouds in an all too rare moment of idleness, when I chanced to behold a certain hero wielding his way towards the city on giant back. Welcome back, Igneel. Nay, 'twas no grave matter that moved me to greet you in person. Between you and me, I merely sought reprise from the pressure of office. No sooner do I surrender my role as the very head of state than I am burdened with a position of more permanent responsibility. I fancy that it echoes in some small measure that way you must feel when your improbable feats of heroism are rewarded with still more impossible challenges. The myth which guided our society for generations lies in tatters. Am I then to be scorned for building upon the system of nobility that I once sought to tear down? And what strange jest is that places me at its pinnacle, an archbishop's bastard at the head of a house of lords? But these questions are for me to answer. It is not in man's nature to change overnight. This I learned through painful experiences, and it was this hard lesson which convinced me to take the path which we now follow. Even as we rebuild the bridge between man and dragon, so must we remain Ishgard, one carefully placed stone at a time. We must remember that it is not for us that we lay on this groundwork, but for the men and women that our children will become. May their tower rise proudly from the foundation of our legacy. I hear word from Captain Whitecape that Estinian has vanished from his sick room. His willfulness survives undiminished. Should you ever happen upon our unmerely friend on your travels, pray assure that I shall keep Ishgard safe until he designs to come home. Thank you, Igneel, and please convey my warmest regards to Master Alphanod. Wow. So now we gotta talk to Alphanod in the manor. We'll just teleport there real quick. There he is. You spoke with Sir Emmerich? I do not envy him in his position. Ishgard has chosen a new road, but one littered with the detritus of 1,000 years of broken faith. Yet, though her people may stumble from time to time, I know of none better than Sir Emmerich to lead the march of progress. As for us, there remains a small matter of ushering a new dawn in the shadow of indestructible Asian. I can say that. And a seemingly endless procession of primals. But we too must walk our chosen path, no matter how treacherous the footing. Cool. So that completes, I believe it's, let's see, in the wake of Ishgard reform, a new airship route has been sanctioned. You may not travel to... Cool. Oh, there's more. Okay. What's that? Oh, they're looking for the eyes. Come on. Thank you, Blanhurst. Nay, you need to remain there. We shall rendezvous at the usual place. Oh, he's the Warrior of Darkness. He's the opposite? All is proceeding as expected then. Ah, there is not to concern us, aside from one overly curious mouse. Oh, this way. Him again. It is of no moment. They will play their part and we will play ours. And thus did Grey Mist give away to the azure skies. Man and dragon rise above, voices joined in song. But beneath shattered broads, beyond the scope of light, shadow stirs. Wow. Alright. Well, that's the end of, I think, the Dragon Song War. What's that? That's what it's called, right? But, you know, the Dragon War with Ishgard. I think that whole arc is over now. And now we're back onto the Warrior of Darkness and all those guys, which will be really cool. I really enjoyed this expansion, though. This whole story is amazing. So good. Alright, guys. Well, that concludes that, and I will see you all next time.